The strength of belief and persistence. Good money, ta. Going ta, litavir, everyone. There was a time when I believed that strength was something you were born with, that only the lucky ones had the power to rise above challenges. But life has its own way of teaching us the truth. Strength is not a gift. It is a choice. And that choice is built on two things: belief and persistence. Life is unpredictable. One moment you are running freely, chasing your dreams, and the next you find yourself trapped in a storm you never saw coming. But let me tell you something: the storms of life do not come to destroy you. They come to awaken the power within you, the power you never knew you had. Belief is where it all begins. When the world tells you that you are not enough, when people remind you of your failures, it is your belief that will keep you standing. It is that inner voice that says, I am stronger than this. I can rise. I will rise. But belief alone is not enough. You need persistence, because the road to success is never straight. And the journey to self-discovery is never easy. There will be days when you feel like giving up. There will be moments when doubt knocks on your door, but those who keep walking, even with shaking feet, are the ones who reach the finish line. You see, pain does not break you, it transforms you. Every scar, every failure, every moment of suffering is a part of your story. And trust me, your story is worth telling. The question is, will you let your struggles define you, or will you use them to create a legacy of strength? So today, I leave you with one thought. Do not let your circumstances decide who you become. Let your belief and persistence shape your destiny. You are more powerful than you think. Stand tall, keep going, and let the world see the unbreakable force that you truly are. There are moments in life when everything changes in the blink of an eye. One second you are standing tall, dreaming without limits, and the next life knocks you down so hard that you begin to wonder if you will ever rise again. But let me tell you something. Adversity is not the end of your story. It is the beginning of a new chapter, one that you never knew you had the strength to write. When we face struggles, we often ask, why me? We look for answers, for reasons, for explanations that make sense. But sometimes the most painful experiences come not to break us, but to rebuild us into someone we were always meant to be. The people who shine the brightest are not the ones who have never fallen, but the ones who have risen time and time again, with their scars as proof of their survival. You see, adversity is life's way of pushing you beyond the limits you have set for yourself. It is the universe whispering, there is more within you. There is strength you have not yet discovered. There is resilience you have not yet tested. And the only way to uncover that strength is to walk through the fire, knowing that even if you stumble, even if you fall, you are being prepared for something greater. It is easy to think that pain is the end of happiness, that failure is the end of success, that loss is the end of love. But what if I told you that the moment you think you have reached the end, life is actually giving you the chance to begin again, to rebuild with wisdom, to rise with courage, to fight with a heart that knows what it means to break and still keep beating. Because in the end, the real question is not about how many times life has knocked you down. It's about how many times you choose to stand back up. Belief is the foundation of strength. Strength is not found in the absence of fear. It is not measured by how much you can lift or how fearless you appear to the world. True strength begins in the mind, in the quiet conviction that no matter what happens, no matter how many times you are told you can't, you will. You see, belief is not just a thought. It is a force. It is the invisible hand that lifts you when you feel like you cannot take another step. It is the voice inside you that whispers, keep going, when the world is screaming at you to stop. There will be days when you feel small, when you question your worth, when every door you knock on remains shut. And in those moments, you will have two choices. to surrender to the doubts that surround you, or to stand firm in the belief that you are capable, that you are enough, that you were made for something greater. The world will try to define you. People will put labels on you. They will tell you who you should be, what you should do, and where your limits lie. But the truth is, the only limits that exist are the ones you accept. And belief, true, unshakable belief, is what allows you to break every barrier, to turn impossible into impossible. Strength does not come from never falling. It comes from believing in yourself so fiercely that even when you fall, you rise again. Even when you fail, you try again. Even when the road is long, you walk anyway. Because deep inside, you know that your journey is not about proving anything to the world. It is about proving to yourself that you were always stronger than you thought you were. Success is not about how fast you reach the finish line. It is about how many times you refuse to stop, no matter how long the journey takes. Persistence is not just about moving forward. It is about moving forward even when everything around you tells you to turn back. Life has a way of testing those who dare to dream. You will face closed doors. You will hear the word no more times than you can count. There will be moments when your efforts seem invisible, when your progress feels too small to matter. And that is when most people give up. That is when most people convince themselves that maybe they are not meant to succeed. But here's the truth. Barriers are not built to stop you. They are built to see how badly you want what is on the other side. The difference between those who make it and those who don't is not talent, not luck, not intelligence. It is persistence. It is the ability to stand in the face of rejection and say, I am not done yet. It is the courage to try again and again and again until one day the door that once seemed impossible to open finally swings wide. Because persistence is the quiet promise you make to yourself that you will keep going even when no one is watching. It is the strength to take one more step, even when your legs are shaking. It is the belief that every small effort counts, that every little progress matters, that every time you refuse to quit, you are one step closer to breaking the barriers that once stood in your way. Pain shapes you, but it doesn't define you. Pain is a language only those who have suffered truly understand. It comes without warning, it changes everything, and it leaves marks, some visible, some hidden deep within. But here's the thing. Pain may shape you, but it does not have the power to define you. There are moments in life when the weight of your struggles feels unbearable, when the dreams you once held so close start slipping through your fingers, when the people you trusted walk away, and the life you planned crumbles before your eyes. And in those moments, pain whispers, this is who you are now. This is all you will ever be. But that is a lie, because you are not your brokenness. You are not the wounds that life has left on you. You are not defined by the hardships you have faced, but by how you rise despite them. You see, pain has a way of transforming us. It teaches us things we never knew we needed to learn. It softens us where we need humility and strengthens us where we need resilience. It takes away things we thought we couldn't live without, only to show us what truly matters. And yes, pain changes you. But change is not always a bad thing. Some of the most beautiful souls are the ones who have walked through fire and come out carrying light. Some of the strongest hearts are the ones that have been shattered yet still find the courage to love again. Some of the greatest stories are written by those who refuse to let their pain be the final chapter. Turn your wounds into wisdom. Every scar tells a story. Every wound you carry is proof that you have survived something that was meant to break you. But survival is not enough. True strength comes when you take those wounds and turn them into wisdom, not as reminders of pain, but as lessons that guide you forward. Life has a way of testing us in ways we never expect. Sometimes the people we trust the most betray us. Sometimes the dreams we worked so hard for slip through our hands. Sometimes we are left standing in the wreckage of a life we no longer recognize, wondering if we will ever feel whole again. And in those moments, it is easy to ask, why did this happen to me? But what if, instead of asking why, we started asking what? What has this pain come to teach me? What can I learn from this? What strength has this struggle uncovered within me that I never knew I had? Because the truth is, wounds can do one of two things. They can make you better or they can make you wiser. They can hold you back in fear or they can push you forward with purpose, and the choice is always yours. The strongest people are not those who have never been hurt, they are the ones who have been broken but refuse to stay that way. They are the ones who took their pain and turned it into power, the ones who used their past not as a burden but as a guiding light for themselves and for others. You see, wisdom is not something you are born with, it is something you earn. It is carved into your soul by every hardship you endure, by every tear you have cried, by every time you have stood back up when the world expected you to stay down. Your wounds are not signs of weakness. They are reminders that you have lived, that you have learned, and that you are still standing, ready to rise again. You are your own limit. There is something we are all taught from a young age: what we can do, what we cannot do, where we belong, and how far we are allowed to go. Society sets boundaries for us before we even understand who we are, and slowly, without realizing it, we begin to accept those limits as truth. But let me tell you something. The only real limits are the ones you choose to believe in. How many times have you hesitated because you thought you weren't good enough? How many dreams have you let go of because someone told you they were impossible? How many times have you stood in front of a closed door, never realizing that you had the power to push it open? The truth is, the greatest obstacles are not the ones outside of us, they are the ones within. Fear, doubt, insecurity, they whisper in our ears, convincing us that we are not capable, that success is for other people, that happiness is something we must earn. But who decides that? Who decides what you are worthy of? Who decides how far you can go? You do. You are the only one who can break the barriers in your mind. You are the only one who can rewrite the story you have been told about yourself. The moment you stop waiting for permission, the moment you stop looking for validation, the moment you realize that you are enough just as you are, that is the moment you become truly unstoppable. Because the world will always have rules. People will always have opinions. But at the end of the day, the only person who gets to decide how big your dreams can be is you. Life will test you. It will push you to the edge, break you in ways you never imagined, and challenge everything you thought you knew about yourself. But remember this: adversity is not the end, it is the beginning of something greater. Your pain does not define you, it shapes you. Your struggles are not meant to destroy you, they are meant to prepare you for the strength you never knew you had. You are not your failures. You're not your wounds. You are the lessons you have learned, the resilience you have built, and the courage you have found along the way. And in those moments when doubt creeps in, when the world tells you that you are not enough, remind yourself you are your own limit. No one else has the power to decide how far you can go, how strong you can be, or how much you can achieve. So believe in yourself even when no one else does. Persist, keep going even when the path is unclear, and rise above the doubts, the fears, and the obstacles, because the only thing standing between you and the life you dream of is the choice to keep moving forward. The journey will not be easy, but I promise you this: the moment you refuse to give up is the moment you become truly